Welcome to Homestead, Miami, where Awful Catfish is on pole from Daf Sanchez and Carlos Fernandez. Takeyoshi Nishimoto starts 14th from Casanova Cornwell, and star Bastian Tan, a very fast starter, is down in 7th place from Alex Kvyat and Zach Sheeden. Mark Cloud 9 is 10th from Rainer Cirilis and Davy Circulera. Then it's Silky, Ascato Copter, and Arnold View. Enoch Hughes starts 16th alongside his family member Dennis Joshua Spence, Mario Kloske, and Dominic Vancelau. Then it's Kushma Fur, Magic, Tommy in the back row of Guillermo Perez and Victor Levi. It's a great day for racing and a great day for the ERL IndyCar Series to return. All 5 lights go on. Lights out and away we go, and it's a great getaway there for one of the Forsyths in the background. Poor start there for one of the Panther cars as Catfish holds on to the race lead. Fernandez looks to the outside of Daf Sanchez coming through turns 1, 2, and 3. And I don't think the Spaniard's going to be able to take the position immediately. It's Catfish from Sanchez and then the Carlin Buzz of Carlos Fernandez, who throws it round the outside and up into 2nd place in front of Daf Sanchez. Nishimoto wants to follow his teammate through as Casanova Cornwell firmly shuts the door on his former teammate's advance. Up to 4th place there for the Englishman. And I think Fernandez, yes, he's looking at the lead. He wants to try and get past. He's using some push to pass as well, but it's not enough. Catfish holds on to the race lead as Cornwell wants to try and take 2nd. They're all flying down into the chicane, and Moncloud 9 has got a 5-second time penalty. Yellow flags as Carlos Fernandez faces backwards. Bastian Tan looked like he was sliding there. It's a pile-up down at the hairpin. But out in front, it's Catfish from Cornwell and Nishimoto. Sanchez has dropped down to 4th as, this could be a problem. Full course cautions are out. 4 cars are out. That's a problem. Both of the Forsyth cars, Moncloud 9 and Rainer Cirilis, out before they can make it through the opening lap. 15 or so seconds is the difference between 4th and 5th. Fernandez just about managed to get through that. And for Bastian Tan as well, that was quite the problem. We expected him to do quite well. Struggled in qualifying, got turned, which is why he doesn't have the time penalty. That penalty going to Davy Circulera, who's up in 7th place now. But we are about to get green again, and we are now green. Just look at the mini-map. Look at the distance between these guys. A lot of distance between Sanchez and Fernandez. Kvyat and Fernandez are right alongside each other, and then it's quite the margin until you see Circulera, and then the rest of the field. Most of the field today are probably only going to be fighting for 5th or below. The top 4 already far away from the rest of the pack. And Catfish has pulled 2 seconds on Casanova Cornwell. Made an absolute rocket ship at the start. On board with Daf Sanchez, going down into this chicane. It's a real pinch point of this racetrack, really, because you've got this long straight that's not exactly straight, but we call it a straight because you're full blast. And you've got the entire field wanting to try and take a position here and there. And through all of that, it's just going to cause a compression that you see here with Silky as he makes his way up into 9th place. Imagine that pass on a field-wide scale as Perez almost throws Magic into the wall. And Tommy is out. That was Guillermo Perez there, who hit the wall. We thought it wasn't. It was Kushma and Magic who were fighting over 14th. And the cautions are back out on lap 2. Fastest lap goes to Awful Catfish. Somehow, Sanchez somehow takes it away. Is he breaking the... he might be breaking caution speed here. Full course yellows are ending though. And we're green. We keep getting these cautions in the mid-pack. We might not see too much racing. In comes Alex Kvyat in the 14 car. Not related to Daniel. In fact, he comes from Ukraine. Let's see what tires the AJ48 driver goes on to. It's a set of mediums, the Firestone Purple Wolf medium compound tires. Out in front, it's a 4-second margin between Casanova Cornwell in 2nd and Awful Catfish in the lead. As they come through the hairpin, this is where Sanchez, Nishimoto, and Cornwell all seem to gain time on the Malaysian, who heads the pack. I'm very, very interested in seeing what pace we can see out of these cars going forward. The ERL actually decided to implement a ramp down system as that's Kvyat! Kvyat and Perez in an incident. Oh! Don't tell me we're going to see what happened on lap 1 again. That's both of the Ed Carpenter cars. Is that? No, it's only one of them. Bastian Tan. No, Bastian is involved in that. Drops to the back of the pack after coming out of the pits. A lot of the top guys thought that a caution was coming, so they came in. Sanchez, however, staying out. He's still waiting for another full course yellow. Catfish comes out on hards. Cornwell's on hards. Magic is in the wall again. Oh! That's Victor Levi that time. Bastian just about managed to get his way through that. Circular in front of Takeyoshi Nishimoto in the 18 car. Right on board with him. Let's see. What is the pace of the Carl and Buzz driver in comparison to the Power Motorsport man in front of him? And of course, there's that 5-lap tire differentiation that you have to keep into account here. But for Nishimoto, light work, no reaction, up into 5th place for the Japanese driver. Meanwhile, Catfish versus Fernandez, the Spaniard takes the pass up into 2nd once again. He's still got another stop to make, does the number 37, but I don't think he cares. He's trying to reel both Catfish and Cornwell into his teammate here. I don't know how well that's going to work out as they touch wheels, but you can see Nishimoto in the background there coming into frame. I think it's working for Carl and Buzz. Nishimoto with the fastest 2nd section of anyone. He is flying as Catfish moves up into 2nd. The 37 wants to make sure that they all stay behind him. Oh! Double overtake there as the 24 locks wheels with the 2 car. Casanova Cornwell to 2nd place. And as Dav Sanchez comes in and the 2 Carl and Buzz cars collide. I think that's the race lead. It will be the race lead for the Englishman on lap 5. Casanova Cornwell for Goodhart Racing. A team that really struggled in the FG Series last season. Cornwell leads the pack. And I think the more important part of this is they're on the hards, which we expect to do around 4 laps. They can make it into the back half of this race. Can both of the race leaders? Nishimoto's got another stop to make, and that stop would be even worse for him due to his time penalty. Magic with the fastest lap, a 1:23.5 in the 91 Team Menard car. And Bastian's looking to season up pass on Davide Cercarera. In fact, only one man is yet to stop here, and it's a not Q. His tyres aren't looking too good. He's at 3% as he comes into the chicane. This is the part of the lap that can punish your tyres most if you haven't looked after them too well. He's at 1% as he comes down into the chicane, and for a not Q, it's happened to him oh so often. In the early days of IndyCar, it's a full car puncture for the number 29. Stayed 1 lap too many on those medium tyres, and he gets out of the way for the rest of the field. He goes offline, thankfully. Oh! Oh dear! Out of the race for a not Q. Fernandez went on a wild ride. The cautions are out, and that helps Nishimoto in terms of this 5-second time penalty. Was that calculated? Who knows? But I think Nishimoto's going to retain 4th here. I think Carlos is really playing the team game here, but out goes the not Q. And we don't know how well that strategy would have worked, because again, he went 1 lap too long on those mediums. We're green again here at Homestead, Miami, and if you're liking the racing that you see here, make sure to subscribe to Sparkplug Motorsport. We've surpassed 1,000 subscribers, and we're looking to try and reach 1,500 by the end of the year. That's called a realistic goal. Sanchez is actually closing up to Arthur Catfish here. They come through the chicane. You can see these guys really sliding on their tires. The top 3 are all on the hard compound tires, and this is the stint where we're likely to see the hards at their most effective. Drivers trying to make it as close to the end of the race as possible. Vanzilla with the fastest opening sector anyone on his own for Meyer Shank in 12th place. And I think Sanchez could close up here. Attack mode goes online for the 72 as we begin lap 7 of 14. And we've got yellows down in sector 2. That's for Alex Kvyat, Carlos Fernandez, and Bastian Tan. We've all come to blows down there. Mascotto Copter further up the road, and that's with Joshua Spence, who writes it again. But we are green again. Cautions in sectors 2 and 3. Someone went off in the opening sector. That would have been a full course caution without the full course cautions being waived. Magic is that? Yes, it is for Team Menard. Trying to get past both of the Ed Carpenter cars and made it look very easy at the very least. Victor Levi wasn't thinking of making a pass there. Probably thinking big picture, which is what you need to be thinking at this stage of the race. Sanchez has gone past his teammate Awful Catfish. That 2 car is likely to come in soon. We can do 5 laps on these blue walled Firestone hard compound tyres. It doesn't mean that these drivers will want to. Just because it's possible doesn't mean that you will. It's more likely going to be the late race gamble type of strategy. So for the guys on the softs, those are the guys who I expect to go into a set of hards for their final stint. Alex Kvyat with the fastest first sector, dueling with Kushmather. We're on board with the 48. Does he want to make a lunge? He does not, as Cornwell and Catfish both come in. It's mediums for Casanova. Let's see what the tyres are going to be. It's softs. Softs going on for Awful Catfish. Either way, both of these drivers have another stop to make because there's 6 laps in this race. The goal of the hard tyre runners, as it stands, is to try and skip this stop. And I don't think it's going to be too possible. Mathieu re-overtakes Alex Kvyat, but the 14 wants to come back at him. And he just can't. Unfortunate, but that is racing, sadly. So Cornwell in 3rd, Catfish 4th. Mascotto Copter fighting with Silky as Radio Kloske gets past Arnold Yu. Arnold Yu in the green Goodhart car. Let's see, can he try and... Well, no, his tyres are too old to really mount a challenge on Kloske, but Silky, defending from Mascotto, successfully holding on to that 6th place. And I think Sir Carrera's going to come under threat here with how old his hard compound tyres are. He's looking to the inside. I don't know if he's going to make it. He will! But the yellows come out down in sector 2. Who is that for? It's for Kloske and Arnold Yu. That answers that question. And for Silky, the pass is made. 5th place in front of the Brazilian driver. Cornwell takes the lead as Nishimoto and Daf Sanchez both come in. Catfish will hold on to P2 here. But 3 seconds being the margin, he needs to throw in some hard and fast lap times. As who was that? Causing that caution, it was Fernandez and Perez. Was it? No, it was Fernandez and Tan. Getting my drivers mixed up. That's too many yellow cars on the field this season. And Casanova still at the head of the pack. 5 seconds separate all of the top 3 cars individually. That's 5 seconds between Cornwell and Catfish, and then 5 seconds between Catfish and Sanchez. And it always compresses in this sector, mainly just because it takes a lot less time to get through in the small turns. They always string back out again on the straight, because it comes down to how much attack charge that you can use. Sir Carrera's trying to close up to Joshua Spence here. See a potential move happening down at the hairpin before the final 2 corners. Actually, might look at the pass now as we begin lap 10. Here comes the number 19 for Power Motorsport. Side by side with Joshua Spence. 19 versus 17. Blue versus red. I think Cerqueira's got him, and he does. Davy Cerqueira takes 6th place. Joshua Spence wanted to try and take it back, but a bit too late on the draw for that one. That's fresh tyres for Davy Cerqueira, but he's too far away from the leaders to really shake up the fight for the top 3, which is certainly seeming as if it's going to need a caution to really break apart here. Magic is heading off and is into the wall. That's with Victor Levi. That rookie in the 7 car already been through a whirlwind today. Carlos Fernandez at the very back of the pack, and it doesn't seem like that's going to change anytime soon. For a first round in the IndyCar series, this is exactly what we expected to see. Perez comes in for his 2nd stop of the race, and not a moment too soon. He comes down. He was at 6% tire wear as Sanchez is heading off, and that's with Cornwell. Casanova Cornwell loses the race lead as Dav Sanchez picks it up, but he's got a 5-second time penalty to his name now. What happened to Casanova? 3 to go, and the complexity of this race has been flipped on its head. Catfish goes onto softs, Cornwell onto softs. And with 3 laps to go, doesn't seem too possible. They're gonna try it though. And they re-emerge in this race in 3rd and 4th, on board with the 24 of Casanova Cornwell, who must be thinking, how on earth did that happen? .1 seconds, marching out in front. Sanchez versus Nishimoto. Well, Sanchez is probably going to be confined to the outskirts of the top 4. That's 4th place he's currently looking at. Nishimoto, if he can get his tires to the end or get a caution, he might be able to take the win here. Fernandez, his teammate, with the fastest 3rd sector of anyone. These guys are beginning to push these cars and these tires to places that realistically they shouldn't be. For Casanova Cornwell, though, he needs to step on it. We don't know what happened down at the hairpin, but something did happen which killed the Englishman's race-winning hopes and gave him over to the 2 car now. And all Catfish needs to do is get the finish right. In comes Sanchez and Nishimoto. Awful Catfish takes the lead. Cornwell up to 2nd. Let's see, where is Nishimoto and Sanchez coming out of the pits here? Well, Cerqueira comes in. Silky is rounding the final corner. He'll be in front of Davy, but he won't be in front of Dav Sanchez. The top 4 have basically been the same 4 drivers all day long, and honestly, from what I can tell, these are certainly the 4 fastest in the league. We're probably going to see these 4 fighting over the championship. As we're looking at Takeyoshi Nishimoto. How well is he going to get this race done? Well, we'll find out once the checkered flag falls. But Cornwell is closing in on Awful Catfish. Going to see a lot more of the battery being used in these closing stages of the race, which is going to help with the drivers trying to close. 1.6 seconds, 2 seconds, 1.9. Casanova's not really closing. Might be saving it for the end of the race, but I see a potential grandstand finishing here either happening or not. On to the penultimate lap. For Awful Catfish, dropped by Power Motorsport at the end of the Formula E season. He took the team's to-date last race win across the ERL. He was picked up by Hyperdrive and partnered with fellow Formula E alumni and fellow IndyCar alumni as well, Dav Sanchez. Together they want to try and take the championship together, and as it stands, they're making a perfect statement to that. But for Casanova Cornwell, he didn't get the greatest of FG Series seasons. Got some assistance from his two-time ERL Series champion in Chris Cornwell. And now he wants to try and take those lessons that he's been taught in the off-season and put them to good use. Going down this backstretch for the penultimate time in this race. This hairpin, the most likely place to land an overtake, but he's 1.9 seconds away, 1.7. 7/10 now as he comes through the hairpin. He needs to put in the fastest lap of the day if he wants to try and take this race win away from Awful Catfish. White flag is out. And a 24 still behind him. The tires look good to the end. Nishimoto's trying to close in as well. Arnold Yu. Oh, full car puncture for Arnold Yu. Just saw this as we went on board with him. And it goes for Dominic Vancelau as well. 4 laps the limit for these softs. And that's going to have to be a sigh of relief for the guys up front who have only got 3 laps. In comes Arnold. I think Bastian's coming in too. That could be a problem for Ascato Copter in 7th, who's looking to try and take home a good finish. That's close to the wall for Awful. Close to the wall for Casanova, who comes up off the chicane. 7/10 down. He's using all the attack charge that he has available. 1.6. Now he's going to try and start gaining 1.9. 2 seconds, he's too far away. Coming through the hairpin for the final time. Awful Catfish in Season 5 of the ERL IndyCar Series will take home victory in Homestead, Miami. Casanova tried, but Sanchez's collision took him out of the conversation as Ascato Copter's tires finally give way, heading down the back stretch. I think he might hold on to a top 12 finish here. Well, Arnold Yu, Bastien Tan, Carlos Fernandez, they're all closing in. As Perez versus Victor Levi then. Rubbing wheels, fighting over 17th, and using... Oh! Oh, that's 2 cars out, as Arnold Yu was involved in an incident with Ascato Copter. Victor Levi somehow managed to get it back on the road with Guillermo Perez, who was caught in the catch fence, but somehow got the traction to get it back onto the track. What an unbelievable first race back for the ERL IndyCar Series. And here's your podium. Awful Catfish taking home victory from Casanova Cornwell and Carlin Buzz's Takayoshi Nishimoto. On the other side of this podium ceremony then, we'll give you the results and the championship standings after this first round in the IndyCar Series. And here are the official race results. Awful Catfish taking the win from Casanova Cornwell and Takayoshi Nishimoto. Dav Sanchez took home 4th with the fastest lap, followed by Georgia's very own Silky, Davy Circarara, and Joshua Spence, with Mario Kloske, Kush Mathur, and Alex Kvyat rounding out the top 10. Outside of it, Bastien Tan, 11th from Carlos Fernandez and Arnold Yu, and it's Dominic Vancelau, Magic, Victor Levi, and Guillermo Perez, with the non-finishers being Zach Sheeden, Tommy, Star, Rainer Cirilis, Moncloud 9, and Enoch as well as Ascato Copter. For a first race back in IndyCar, that's a lot of non-finishes, but Hyperdrive Racing certainly look to have everything under control with a 1-4. Casanova Cornwell bringing in some good news for Good Heart Racing as well. And Takeyoshi Nishimura and the entirety of Colin Buzz as well, looking very quick indeed throughout this race. And while it leaves the drivers' standings looking the exact same, heading into the second round of the championship, Hyperdrive lead the points, 20 points up on Good Heart Racing and Colin Buzz. Then it's AJ Foyt, Power Motorsport, Junior Motorsports, and Panther Racing, with X44 being the last team to score points. Ed Carpenter Racing, Maya Shank Racing, Menard, and Team Forsyth are all yet to score. And with that, that ends the opening round of the championship, and a brilliant opening round, if I must say so. Next up, of course, is the Champ Car World Series here on Sparkplug Motorsport, so thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time then when the Electric Racing League returns.